I just ask that we don't be too tough on our parents for not knowing.
No, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just more.
Like, what was your experience?
Yeah, just understanding that. Do you get what I mean? Because obviously now I've got kids myself. It's like it's an interesting one to kind of navigate them and have certain conversations with them. Obviously, they're still quite young, but when they start speaking and stuff like that,
Yeah, it starts
I'm
early.
definitely gonna try and let them know like you're black, you're special, you're unique. Don't let nobody kick you down.
And do you think you're only having these conversations or plan to have these conversations because you live here in the UK where you're a minority? Do you think you would do the same if you lived back in Nigeria?
I think it's important just generally because we live in a global world, right? You're gonna your kids are gonna mix with different people from different cultures and stuff like that. So it's just important for them to know like how the world operates. Like,
Yeah.
How will you communicate that?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's a deeper conversation.
deeper
Do you know what I mean?
conversation.
Like, I haven't figured everything out, but it's just more just thinking about this and thinking about when you was young, whether you had those conversations. Because
Yeah, no, I certainly didn't. I think
I didn't
I
even
like
know, to
that,
be
though.
honest. I don't think parents raise kids. Like, I don't think, I'll say black children aren't raised to know about racism. Like, our parents are not letting us know, oh, this is the world. But I feel like maybe people from different cultures are taught certain things. Like, that's why racism exists, right?
No, I'll take your point. I'll take your point fully. I think we're being told what we aren't outside, right? And because we spend more time outside, communicating outside, that then becomes more of a powerful thought process, right? Within ourselves, like the hours that you spend in school are your active hours of the day, right? So the information you get there is probably going to stay with you longer. And when you go through the teenage years as well, where you feel like you know most things or you know more than your parents, certainly you think anyway, you then start to be dismissive of some of the conversations that you should really be having with your parents. And also it's difficult for us as young black kids growing up, because we're also trying to navigate the nonsense outside. We spoke about RA. Our parents didn't know nothing about RA. Do you know what I mean? Like, my parents moved houses one time, story. My family moved houses one time and I had problems with certain people from a certain area and I couldn't move with them. Like, I genuinely couldn't move with them. So I lived one man up for 2 months at the old house until we could pattern some sort of peace talk. Not peace talks, but something over there. And for me, it's like a lot of people don't go through that. And they shouldn't have to go through that as a young person. But anyway, you touched on something important there. Mental health within the community. What can we do better? As well, there's 3 young black men here. Like, as black men, what can we do better in terms of our mental health?
Yeah, again, I feel like generally in the black community, mental health there's a stigma when it comes to, mental
You think that
health.
same stigma exists now like it did 5 years ago?
I think people have conversations about it, but I think, if someone's to tell you, oh, I'm depressed, there's still that underlying same reaction, like, just man up, just crack on. If I go to my mum and tell her I'm depressed, it's like, what
It's
do you
also
mean?
knowing the right people to go to.
No, definitely. I feel like now there's a lot more awareness about it, but I feel like generally still in the community there is a stigma. Like, if if you're being sectioned, people are gonna look at you a certain way. People are gonna treat you a certain way.
Is that due
Yeah.
to people not knowing though as well? Because I take your point, and okay, maybe holistically speaking, you're probably correct, right? But my sphere of influence would be the people closest to me, and I feel like there's a lot of close people to me that have come to me and said, boom, 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 I'm going through this. Do you know what? I'm finding it a little bit difficult at the moment, and I'm the ear that doesn't judge. I listen to you. We'll talk. Do you know what I mean? I feel like our generation is changing the narrative. I think our generation is definitely, no, this is important. This is important because life is really dealing with people, and I think whilst, 5, 6, 7 years ago, the stigma was very rife, very much rife. But I think when we've grown to an age now where we're understanding that, there's a lot of things going on out there. We need to put importance on the mental health. Like how many people do you know right now that will go to the spa? How many people do you know that will take care of themselves, spend some time alone, read, do these things? People are catching on. It's very
Yeah, I feel like
important.
everyone's in their self-care bag.
That
more.
wellness.
Yeah, health and
wellness.
well-being, taking
But that's what
time
I'm
for
saying. But
themselves.
for you, bro, like, are you comfortable going to somebody and saying, bro, like, I feel like this, I feel depressed,
I would
feel
say I'm
low.
very comfortable because I think I'm very blessed to have people around me. I feel like I can have conversations I can't have, I don't know, with my mother. I remember telling my mum about therapy and it wasn't really resonating. Like, and she's trying her hardest to try and understand, but that wasn't really her thing when she was growing up. Like, I remember my mum opening up to me about, just feeling sad and feeling low and just like, oh, you children got me through it. But it's like, Mum, did you have someone to talk to? Like, in Nigeria, there was probably therapists, but I'm sure they were few and far between. And I think we're so lucky and we're so blessed to have like more knowledge and education about mental health and people to talk to. Well,
We need
some
more
do.
black therapists. We need more young black men, young black women going into those fields.
Yeah, we need more
You know.
conversations like this, normalizing it. Bro. People often also think like therapist is when you're down and out. No, bro. Like if you choose to look after yourself, kudos to you. You don't have to wait till you're feeling sad and you're feeling down to then say, do you know what? Let me sort this out. You only know how much you know. So I remember the first time I went to therapy. Before I even went there, you have the conversations, this and the other, what you doing it for? And I said to her, I'm not doing it because I feel like I'm lacking in anything. I just feel like as an individual, my perspective on myself and my growth is limited. I can only see as much as I choose to see. You know what I mean? So I want to know things that I don't know about myself. Potentially you can unearth some things for me, because for me, I feel like I've got so much to give to the world. I feel like I've got so much to give to the world, and it'd be such an injustice if it's not coming from a place where the foundations aren't solidified, the foundations aren't right. And I felt like I owed it to myself, but also to the people that potentially, hopefully, I'm going to influence in a positive way. That, you know what, you've done the necessary things.
You've done the work.
You've done the work, So for me as well, I think, yeah, definitely, man, like mental health is important within the community. Mental health, I get the point about the stigma and stuff like that, but I feel like we're taking away that stigma, and it makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that we're seeing black men, black women being comfortable in talking about how they feel, talking about their emotions, being open about their emotions. Don't get it twisted. If you speak to the wrong person, then you're gonna get the wrong answers, right? But it's up to you to also understand that I need to be that person for my mates, and if your mates hold themselves by that same regard and standard, you find that everyone within that group can speak to each other in a free-flowing manner. So for me, I love that, man.
But you know what? We've all identified that, cool, things are getting better, people are opening up, and these are the solutions. But let's try and understand the why. I think the why is, as black people, and I think we get this from just being at home, I was kind of told, like, don't tell anyone your business. Like, you kind of keep things to yourself. I feel like I've naturally got the personality growing up to keep things to myself. And it's only until I hit rock bottom, then I try and find an avenue of sorting things out. Like, why?
I'm sorry that you had to go to rock bottom to really come out of it. I guess different people have different stories. People have different stories, and it's tough. It's a tough one, innit? Because I can't speak on your experience, and I can't be dismissive of your experience, right? But I think being tough is generally, if you look at, cool, let's look at it this way, yeah? If you look at successful people, for example, so let's talk career-wise and stuff like that, yeah? If we was to look at successful people and certain characteristics that's sort of pointed, that's sort of drawn out of these successful people, majority of the time they say, yeah, you've got to be tenacious, you've got to be strong, you've got to be able to you got to fight for yourself. You've got to believe in just yourself, and people are gonna knock you down and all of that stuff. So it's like, it's almost like until someone knocks me down, then I'm not doing the right thing. No, the characteristics that you alluded to are characteristics to reach success. That's how it was painted before, right? So that's why you see a lot of people acting a certain way because they feel like this is what I need to do to be successful. When in actual fact, take a touch, slow it all down. Like, no, you can be healthy mentally. You can deal with something and react to something a certain way and still be on your path to success. I think gone are the days where you've got to be this stringent person that is all about, no, bro, calm down. People work smart now. You know?
That's interesting because when you look at these successful people, a lot of them have been like characterized as like narcissists and stuff like that. Do you get what I mean? So I do hear what you're saying when it comes to success, but then, you know, do you say you got to be a bit insane to be in the top 5% or whatever, you know?
And I get
certain
that.
sacrifices, certain mindset. But I agree with you that, you know, it's changing and, you know, success in one area, you can't just hang up the flag, oh, I'm successful, I've got money, but my family's crashing or my mental health is crashing.
Bro, and what
You know, you
success
gotta be
is
balanced.
linear? Success, your path to success is never linear, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have to go here and go there and go there, places you didn't plan to go. But you've got to be open. You've got to be open to learning new things. You've got to be open to getting punched. I get that. But when you're in pain, you're in pain. You got to deal with that pain, though. You don't brush that pain. You got to deal with that pain, because you brush that pain, in the next 6, 7, 8, 9 months time, when that pain comes slapping you back down, you're going to go from this level to this level. Deal with that pain. Sacrifice that 1 month that you need to get yourself right. Then you go again. That's more important than struggling with that pain and going here, and then you hit tipping point, then you crash out. For me, that's important, man. I don't know, man. Mental health, for me, I feel like it's very important for us as, bro, black men, right? Black men